All Central America, South America. It's a lot of people coming.
You think too many people, or?
Oh yeah, I think too many people. That's every day, every day.
People are going to immigrate because people have kids, people are hungry, they need to support their families.
As a nation of immigrants, the composition of the United States population has changed dramatically in recent years, and this change involves the largest ethnic minority in the U.S., namely Latinos or Hispanics. In addition, in recent years, there has been an influx of migrants crossing the U.S. southern border, most of them coming from Latin American countries. So what's the impact? What do Latinos already living in the U.S. think about this phenomenon? How will their views be reflected in this year's presidential election? Hello everyone, welcome to the Perspectives with Cathy Zhang, and this is Cathy. I will take you to California, which has the highest total numbers of Hispanics of any U.S. state, to find out more. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, as of July 1st, 2022, the Hispanic population in the U.S. was nearly 64 million, making up 19% of the total population. They have become the largest ethnic minority in the U.S. besides Caucasians, who make up 60% of the population. Hispanic Californians are the largest ethnic group in the state, surpassing Caucasians. The 2022 American Community Survey shows that in California, 40% are Hispanic, 35% are white, 15% are Asian or Pacific Islander, and 5% are black. The Hispanic population in California doubled in the 10 years from 2010 to 2020. Of course, Mexicans make up the largest Hispanic group in California with over 12 million people, or nearly 30% of the state's population. On the political spectrum, Hispanics and the Latino voters have tended to vote Democratic Party in previous U.S. presidential elections. According to Pew Research, President Joe Biden won 60% of the Latino votes in the 2020 election, while former President Donald J. Trump received only 38%. But recent polls show that this year is in a reversal of the trend. Hispanic voters could be favoring Trump over Biden in the upcoming presidential election. The New York Times Siena College poll in March showed that 46% of the Latino voters prefer Trump versus 40% who support Biden. Of course, these are just polling data after all. So what's the reality? Recently, I did some random interviews in the Silicon Valley area, and particularly in Palo Alto, where Stanford University is located. I came across many people of Mexican descent. During the interviews, there are some interesting discoveries. For example, these Mexican Americans who came to the States legally or illegally now all have pretty decent jobs. Some are even working at Stanford University. They all have concerns with the massive influx of the illegal migrants at the U.S. Mexican border. However, in terms of the cause of the problem and how it should be resolved, they have very different views. In addition, which presidential candidate will they support in this November's election? Their answer may surprise you. All right, so let's start with our first interviewee, Antonio. He came to the U.S. illegally from Mexico about 20 years ago.
2005.
Yeah, was it hard?
Yes, hard. The border always is hard, always.
Why you make the effort to come?
For job, I work McDonald's before, Mexico. Oh no, because I work in construction and restaurant in Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah, after come here, what kind of job you do?
I try to work in restaurant too. Different job. Yeah.
Now,
Stanford University is much better.
Yeah.
It's good money, good everything.
Wow. So how did you find the librarian job in Stanford?
Because I have my friends working there.
So your friends also came from Mexico?
Yeah, oh yeah, coming from Mexico too.
The border, more people coming in. How do you think of it?
You know, I'm just watching the news right now. It's too many people, but you know, the border always is a lot of people coming from different countries, especially for Central America. There's too many people. It's every day, every day.
How do you think our United States government policy on the border?
You know, the policy, like, remember when Donald Trump is president, he's very strict.
So you like it strict or not?
Yeah, I think it's, yeah, I like strict. Yeah, I like Donald Trump.
You like Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Can you vote now?
Yeah, I want.
Who are you going to vote for president?
I think for Trump is better. Yeah, for Donald Trump.
Did you vote
Last
2020?
2020, yeah.
Yeah, who did you vote for?
Yeah, you know, I voted before for Bush, Barack Obama, and then Donald Trump. The border, there's a lot of people come every day, a lot of people every day. And then some people say the people coming here right now have like permits for immigration after 3 months or 6 months. And then a lot of people working here for many years, no papers. I think it's not right. It's no good.
From the poll, more Latino Americans or Mexican Americans are supporting Trump. Do you think that's true?
I think, yeah, that's true.
Democrats saying, oh, Donald Trump is discriminate Mexican Americans. What do you think?
Yeah,
think
that's
so?
true. Yeah, I think,
It's true?
yeah, it's true.
But you still vote
You
for
still,
him?
yeah, because I like he's more strict.
So people around you, like your family, your friends, are they like think like you?
Mostly, yeah.
Oh, so you think they're gonna also vote for Trump?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
The next two interviewees were also from Mexico. One of them said that she came to the States legally. Where are you from?
Mexico.
Mexico?
Yes, I am from Mexico.
Okay. How do you think of the border?
Very bad.
It's bad. It's really bad.
Really bad?
Yes.
You don't like it?
No.
But you came from Mexico as well.
Yes, but I came in a different way as an exchange student.
You don't feel like the open border, people just come in is right?
Unfortunately, this is the government's fault in every country in the whole world. If they have workers, work for people, nobody should immigrate to this country. But if they don't take care of what is going on in their own countries, people are going to immigrate because people have kids, people are hungry, so they need to find a way to support families.
The people are easier to come in, is that right?
It's not easy.
It's not.
No, I mean, who says?
It's not easy right now, yeah.
No, not that easy.
No.
But government are not opening the borders. It's just people are hungry. That's the truth. Or what do you think, Mary?
Yeah, they don't make enough to support their family, so they come in here for something better, you know.
Do you think the United States should just open up and take them?
I don't think the United
No.
States will do it. They're supposed to do something like investigate the people who can qualify to
Like
get
a
in.
vet people.
Yeah.
Are you able to vote?
We're not going to comment about that. Who you are. so.
Okay. Which candidate do you think is better?
And again, we cannot comment on that either.
Yeah, I guess.
Because, I mean, for us, it's the most important is that any president that work for this country should be equal. But also, many immigrants in this country are still coming from other countries like you, yourself.
Yeah. I came as a student spouse.
But still, you're
Legally.
Chinese. But still, you're Chinese, you know? But it's the same thing.
In a legal way, right?
Yeah, illegal, not legal. We are here. And
More Latinos, or Mexican Americans, are starting to support former President Trump. What do you think?
I'm not going to talk about Trump. He's the worst president we ever have in this country.
So, what do you think of their perspectives? Which side do you support? I'm really curious, so let's do a poll. How about that? Please leave your comments. And at this moment, I would like to remind you to click like, subscribe, and click the little bell so that you won't miss my new videos. And also, I would like to encourage you to sign up on the new free speech platform called the Ganjin World. Sign up for an account and follow my channel. So from these two interviews, I can think of quite a few questions. First, can anyone and everyone immigrate to the United States as he or she wish? Most people came to the United States with a dream of a better life for themselves and for their families. And many Americans believe that everyone has the right to pursue happiness and a better life, including illegal migrants. So the U.S. government should give them the same opportunity. Is that correct? Secondly, people just wanted to have a better life, whether they were born here or coming to the United States legally or illegally. So how can we fulfill such American dream? Here are some of my thoughts. First of all, for people like Antonio, who entered the United States illegally, he believes that there are too many illegal migrants coming to the U.S. and that the border should be tightened up. Even though he thinks that Trump is discriminating against Mexicans, but he will vote for Trump because he likes Trump's strict border policy. He sounds contradicting himself, right? So how to make sense of it? This can be explained by a theory called the bus theory. When the bus opens its door for a crowd, everyone tries to get on. But once the bus is fully loaded and the doors closed, people who were able to make it on the bus usually have their thinking changed immediately. Before, they would wish the door would be open as wide as possible, as long as possible, but now they start to think from the perspective of a passenger, an insider. They start to think for the well-being of the whole bus. And they know if the door keeps opening, the bus would eventually collapse because of overloading. Then no one could move forward. It's the same thing for a country. If the burden is too much, the society would deteriorate or even collapse. Then, for those people who tried so hard to come in, one way or the other, they would not be able to achieve the purpose or the dream of having a better life here. Secondly, the Mexican lady who came to the United States legally believes that the main reason of the influx of illegal migrants into the United States is due to the fact that many governments around the world have failed to improve the lives of their people, leaving them and forcing them to come to the United States for a better opportunity to support their family. Sounds reasonable, right? But does that mean the U.S. should accept all of them and give them the opportunities? Many Americans believe so. As an immigrant myself, here's my take. The total population in the world is about 8 billion. According to the standard of the World Bank, there are 135 countries in the categories of low income or mid income, with a total population of 6.7 billion. Many of them probably do want to have a better income to raise family and live a better life. I know at least that many people in China want to do that. Many fellow Americans have empathy to those who are under dire economic situation in those countries and argue that they too should have equal rights and opportunities to pursue happiness and a better life. But if we take an example of your own family, you live a much better life than others, then would you casually take someone who also wanted to enjoy the same thing as you do as your family member? Maybe you can take 1, take 2 or 3, but how many can you take? Would you look into each one of them to make sure that they won't harm your family members? Also, would you want to make sure that they can take care of themselves rather than relying on you? Because it's easy to spend other people's money, but other people's money and the resources would be depleted someday. So that's why the U.S. immigration law provides shelter for certain refugees, but not all of them, because it's just not realistic. Indeed, America is a country of immigrants, but America becomes the center attraction for people around the world, not just because of that. It's essentially because America is a better place, and its success has a formula. That in itself would be another topic which we could discuss down the road. So what do you think? Please share your thoughts. I appreciate that you watched this video thus far, so please remember to click like and subscribe if you feel such discussion is valuable. I'm Cathy Zhang, and see you next time.